It is 12 o'clock on the nose. So we're going to begin to settle into the beginning of class. If everyone can make their way into a seated position, maybe you like crisscross applesauce, maybe you prefer to sit on your shins. Either way, make yourself comfortable. Bring your eyes to close and begin by grounding your hands down on your upper thighs, so palms facing down, and just doing a little gentle sweep forward and back. Bringing your attention into sensation, into the physical body. Taking a couple of deep, intentional breaths as we move into this place of presence with ourselves. You can find stillness with the hands whenever you are ready. And you can either keep them grounded down in this position of groundedness, or flip them up towards the sky in a position of receptivity, whatever matches the vibe for you today. Take a long, drawn-out inhale through your nose down into your low belly, like you're trying to inflate a balloon 360 degrees, moving into your low back, your rib cage, full expansion, proud, chest raised. And after you've held that breath for a few seconds, go ahead and release out the nose or mouth, noticing what happens to the body upon that exhale. Move through this breath a few more times. A little bit exaggerated, trying to bring in as much energy, oxygen, light, goodness, liveliness with every inhale. Like you're trying to sip as much air as your belly can possibly contain, holding it at the top to experience what it feels like to be full. And then letting everything go. A sweep, a release, a restfulness in the body. I love the breath for so many reasons, but it can act as such a beautiful metaphor for so many things in life. We fill up, we experience, we enjoy, we collect, and we feel this fullness, this vibration under our skin as a result of that inhale, that metaphorical inhale. And then, as we experience presence at the top of that collection, we let it all go. We hold things lightly. As we move through our practice today, our focus will be grounded on continued presence and stillness with the self, but also an openness today. Take a big deep breath in as you move your hands out to the sides of the room, palms facing up, and then inhale the hands up above the head to touch. Exhale, hands down to the heart, bow the chin to the chest. And it is here that I want you to get in touch with that space where your thumbs meet your heart. And ask yourself, what do I need today? The first thing that lands on your mind's eye, just let it be. Acknowledge the need. And as we move through this practice, dedicate your energy to this rumination. With your next inhale, raise the hands above the head in one unit. And as you exhale, left hand comes down flat to the mat as you reach your right fingertips toward the side of the room. You're going to keep your sit bones planted on the mat, so you're not going to reach so far that you lose contact between your seat and the mat below. Keep your shoulders stacked, one on top of the other, your chest open, and reach through those fingertips. You should feel a big stretch through your side body. Your gaze can be up at the fingertips above or down below, whichever feels better for you today. Breathe and give your side body a little bit of love. You can find more depth as we stay here if that feels good. One more deep breath in. And then exhale. We're going to switch sides. Reaching now, those left fingertips up, stacking the shoulders, keeping the chest open, your sit bones grounded. You reach. Gazing up at the fingertips above or down at the fingertips below. Adjusting your posture as you need to, finding depth with the pose, reaching a little bit farther. The goal is to create length in your side body. If you struggle with hip hike, this is a great stretch for you. Send your breath into every fiber of your abdomen, remembering that breath will help open things up and relax those muscles just as much as the stretch itself. With your next exhale, go ahead and come back to center, reaching the hands up once more. Briefly touch the fingertips at the top and then spread the fingers wide. Draw the elbows down, the shoulder blades together back behind you. Feel your heart open, a stretch through your shoulders, through your chest. Nice upright posture here. Energy moving through every single one of your fingertips. Goddess arms. Inhale, we reach. And exhale, hands come down to the sides. We're gonna roll up over the knees, coming into an all fours position. Shoulders positioned right over the wrists, knees below the hips. And begin by finding just a little bit of a slinky movement in the spine. Do what feels good for you. You can move through an early cat-cow. You can simply just move into these areas of the body that feel like they're holding a little bit of extra tension. Move back and forth between child's pose and this quadruped position. This is freedom of expression. No one's looking at you. They're in their own practice. And when you're ready, go ahead and find stillness. Once again, knees hip-width apart, hands beneath the shoulders. Draw your belly button in and up, and press your heart out towards your fingertips. Deep breath in, and we're going to take our weight onto the right side as we reach the left fingertips up towards the sky, stacking nice long length and line. And then we're going to draw that hand underneath the opposite armpit, palm facing up, trying to bring the shoulder all the way down to rest. Your right hand can come out a couple of inches to give you a little bit more leverage. Either spider webbing the fingertips or palm fully face down. Just a nice stretch through the shoulder blade. And breathe. Nice big breaths all the way down into the belly. And when you're ready, that right hand comes back underneath the right shoulder. And we press into it to lift the left fingertips all the way back up. Stretch one nice, beautiful line. And then we go ahead and set that down. Go ahead and take your tailbone onto your heels. Reach your fingertips forward. Little mini break. And then roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming back into our original quadruped position. Check in on your form, belly button into your spine. This time taking your weight to the left hand as you reach the right fingertips up. Stack the shoulders, one nice beautiful line, energy through the fingertips. And on your next exhale, weave that hand beneath the opposite armpit, bringing the shoulder all the way to rest and taking those left fingertips out a couple of inches to give yourself some extra leverage. Breathe deeply into your low belly. Breathe into the shoulder, side body. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and take that left hand back underneath the left shoulder, pressing into it with strength and grace to reach back into that line. And then exhale, hands come down, rock your tailbone onto your heels, reach your fingertips out in front of you. Forehead meets the mat for a quick moment. And then roll one vertebrae at a time back up into this all fours position. We're going to do one more movement here in this position before we transition to downward facing dog. This is called puppy pose. So keeping your knees aligned right underneath those hips, we're going to begin to walk the hands out in front of us, lengthening the back. The chest is going to move its way down towards the mat, or as close towards the mat as you can get, while maintaining that nice 90-degree angle through the back of the body. You can release the forehead if that's available to you. Big stretch through your back, through your shoulders, length. Breathe and relax. From this position, begin to slowly shift your weight forward. So your forearms are grounded down and your hips make their way to the mat. You can release the legs one at a time, and then rock the hips back and forth to release the glutes as much as you can. Reach through the crown of the head, nice and tall through the chest. This is Sphinx pose. And the goal here is to keep your glutes completely relaxed and focus the stretch right above your low back. Relax. Breathe deeply into your low belly. Continue to check in with your glutes, making sure that they're not clenched. Reach a little taller through the head. And then slowly, we're going to bow through the chest, taking the hands beneath our shoulders. And then rocking back, flipping our toes into the mat, and lifting the tailbone up into our first downward facing dog of class. Remember, in downward facing dog, the feet are hip width apart. Hands are shoulder width apart, nice wide fingertips, creating a suction between the center of your palm and the mat. You can begin to pedal out the feet here if that feels good. Releasing one heel as the opposite knee bends deeply. Stretching through the back of those legs as you feel that warmth building in your shoulders. Remember to breathe. Take nice deep breaths. You should be able to hear yourself breathe throughout this practice. Remember, breath is just as much part of this exercise. It's the physical things we do. When you're ready, submit to stillness. Checking in on your form once again, inching your tailbone closer towards the ceiling. Nice soft bend on the knees. And then release the heels closer down towards the earth. Like they're falling down. You don't need to force flat feet. Breathe into your back. And with your next deep breath in, I want you to exhale as you walk your hands back towards your toes. And then heel toe the feet out to the wide edges of your mat. You can grab opposite elbows here. This is ragdoll pose. So the weight in your heels is counterbalanced by the weight hanging forward. Let your head and neck relax. You can nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Let the arms swing a little bit. Play around here. And breathe. When you're ready, release your fingertips down to the mat. Heel toe the feet back together to touch. Forward fold. And then inhale, drag the fingertips up the shins. Reach your heart out in front of you. And exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Fingertips barely touch, and then exhale, draw the elbows down the shoulder blades. Together, reach the heart. Lift up, and exhale, fold. From here, walk the fingertips forward to the front of your mat, finding a plank pose or a modified plank where you ground your shins down to the earth. And as you exhale, keep your elbows tight into the body, your chest moving forward until your chest descends all the way down. Draw your shoulder blades down and back, and inhale, baby cobra. Barely hover the hands. Exhale, melt forward. Press your weight back, flip your toes, find downward facing dog. From here, come up onto the tiptoes, bend the knees deeply, and hop, step, or jump to the front of your mat, feet together. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep, all the way up. Fingertips barely touch. Exhale, open the heart a little wider this time. Strength through the arms, open chest. Inhale, we reach back to center. Exhale, dive down. Plant the hands, hop or step back to plank. You can always move into the modification. I'm going to do this next round in a full plank. But as we exhale, the elbows stay tight to the body until we hover above the mat. Flipping onto the tops of the feet, we lift the heart, upward facing dog. And then exhale, flip the toes, send the tailbone back. Downward facing dog. Adjust your down dog. Deep breath in. And exhale, walk the hands back towards the toes. Heel toe together. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep. And this time we're going to change things up a little bit. Inhale, interlace all but your pointer finger and thumb. Grow nice and tall, squeeze the glutes. And as you exhale, slowly bend through the back, lifting the heart, staying strong. And then come back to center, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Slowly walk your hands to the front of your mat, finding plank. And then we're going to move through a vinyasa. Exhale, down. Hover above the mat. Flip onto the tops of the feet. We lift the heart. Upward facing dog. Hover the thighs. And then flip the toes and the tailbone back. Downward facing dog. Come up onto the tiptoes, bend the knees. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Pointer finger and thumb, or everything except pointer finger and thumb, interlace, grow tall. Squeeze the glutes. Draw the belly button into the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. Deep breath in. And exhale,
Find a little mini back bend. If this is uncomfortable for your low back, you can always give yourself a little bit of support, taking your elbows back behind you, making little fists into your low back. Either variation is fine. Wherever you are, come back to center, and then exhale, fold. From here, you're going to keep your right foot planted and step your left foot back into a low lunge. Nice and strong here. Remember, you can always modify with that shin down. I'm going to stay in a full position here. Hands to frame the foot, knee directly over that second and third toe. And then I'm going to rise all the way up to a high lunge position. The shoulder blades are pinned down. Our hips are squared to the front of the room, sinking down without sinking forward. So that knee should never float over that second or third toe. Breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and bring the hands back down and step in to switch sides. The right foot floats back, find low lunge. Either the full version or the modification. Squaring the hips off, strength through the back of that foot. And then we're going to use our strength to rise. Square the hips, energy through the fingertips, shoulder blades down. Feel in your legs, your glutes. Feel energy move up and then in each direction. Exhale. Come back down and step all the way in, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Either variation, so if you want to take your hands to fists, please do so now. Or we're going to grow nice and tall and find our mini back bend. You can get into this slow. Focus on your breath. Slowly come back up to center. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, taking the hands down, hop or step back to plank, and move through one Vinyasa. Strong through the abdomen, making sure to hover the thighs here, and then flipping the feet and finding downward facing dog. Breathe here for a moment. Active rest. Slowly begin to crouch through the knees, taking your shins down, and then lifting through the torso. We're going to roll onto one side and bring the feet out in front of us. Go ahead and take your right foot out in front of you, and then take the left and cross it over. We're going to find ourselves in a little twist, so hooking the elbow on the outside and looking over the back shoulder. Sit up nice and tall, sit bones stay connected with the mat. Using your breath to almost wring out your spine like a washcloth. Breathe into your belly. And with your exhale, relax. Slowly untangle the body. Take both feet out in front of you and switch sides. Hooking the elbow on the outside of that knee. Sit up nice and tall. Find that twist and breathe. Get in touch with your body, your heart rate, your breath. What do you feel on a physical level? Observe what is happening with your mind. And as judgments, distracting thoughts that bring you to the past or future, try to rob you from this moment. Let them float by like pieces of debris on a river. Stay here. Stay with us. Slowly untangle the body. Once again, taking the feet out in front of you. We're slowly going to walk the hands forward, keeping the heart lifted. One last little fold here. Keeping your sit bones grounded where they are. You can anchor wherever is available to you. Trying to keep the back as flat as possible. So if that means not going so far, that's fine. One more breath. Relax your belly. And then slowly begin to walk the hands back towards the body, pulling the knees up, and then releasing the back all the way down. You're going to take your hands in a T position, palms facing down, shoulder blades connected in with the mat. And you're just going to allow the knees to drop to one side, doesn't matter which side, and your gaze to move in the opposite direction. A very gentle spinal twist. If you want to intensify this stretch, you can straighten the legs out. Whatever version feels like it's calling to you today. Again, remember to send your breath into your back. To focus on full belly breath. Not only wringing out the spine, but also moving your digestion along, relaxing your diaphragm. And as you bring your gaze back to center, bring your knees there as well, and then drop over to the other side. Shoulder blades remain connected with the mat, however. You can straighten out the legs if that's available to you, if that feels good. Or keep things light and restful as we prepare for final Shavasana. Bring your gaze to center, the knees to center. You can pull them into your body in a nice little hug. Maybe roll from side to side, just massaging out that low back if it needs it today. Whenever you feel ready and led, let your heels descend to the wide edges of the mat. Your arms to drape along your sides, palms facing up towards the sky. And begin to sink in to final Shavasana. Relax every muscle in your body here. And as you do so, come back to the intention or dedication that you made at the beginning of class. That space at the center of your heart, envision it. It is open. What might you receive in the stillness? Take one last inhale in through your nose and let it go. You can begin to awaken your body. Maybe you give a little wiggle to your fingers or your toes. Maybe it's a big stretch in opposite positions. And when you're ready and led, we're going to make our way into a seated position in the safest way possible. Rolling onto a side, tucking the knees into the chest, like you're in a fetal position, and then using that top-facing hand to press the torso up and swing the legs around. Thank you all for joining me for yoga today. Appreciate your presence. Again, the gift of giving yourself 30 minutes. I appreciate you. The light in me sees and honors the light I see in each of you. I'll be available for any questions that you might have or suggestions after class. Namaste, friends. Have a beautiful day.